Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurur Sakshat Para Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Akhanda Mandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Dhyanamoolam Gurur Murti, Pujamulam Gurur Padam, Mantramulam Gurur Vakyam, Mokshamulam Gurur Kripa. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vedvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Chidarpanam. Jai Gurudev. Let's chant Adhyay 10, Shlok 1 to 11. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Atha Dashamodhyayaha. Shri Bhagavanuvacha. Bhuya eva mahabaho shriru me paramam vacha yatteham priyamanaya vakshyami hitakamyaya na me vidusura ganaha prabhavam na maharshayah aham adirhi devanam Maharshinam cha sarvashah yo mama jamanadim cha vetti loka maheshwaram asammudha samartyeshu sarva pape pramuchyate buddhir jnanam asammoha Shama satyam dhamma shamaha Sukham dukham bhavo bhavo Bhayam cha bhayameva cha Ahimsa samata tushti Tapodanam yasho yashaha Bhavanti bhava bhutanam Matta eva prithak vidaha Maharshaya sapta purve Chatvaro manavastatha Madbhava manasa jata Yesham loka ima prajaha Etam vibhutim yogam cha Mama yo vetti tatvataha So vikampena yogena Yujyate natra sanshayah Aham sarvasya prabhavo Matta sarvam pravartate Iti matva bhajante mam Buddha bhava samanvitaha Macchitta madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha tesham satatayuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhiyogam tam yena mamupayanti te teshamevanukampartham aham agyanajam tamaha nashayam yatma bhavastho jnanadipena bhasvata. Om Tat Sat. Welcome everyone on Zoom as well as at the center. We are on Adhyay 10 and today there are some beautiful shlokas, 4 of them to be precise, and as I promised last time, or should I say warned or cautioned, it may take some time because I will finish all 4 today. They go together. Let's not waste too much time because I'm quite excited with these 4 shlokas. But let's have a small recap. So we started Adhyay 10 with Bhagwan telling Arjun that I'm going to tell you something which is very precious. Why did Bhagwan choose Arjun? In the shlok itself, he has given the reason. He is very loving. You are so loving, he says, as well as out of my solicitude to you, out of my compassion to you, out of my concern for you, out of my connection with you, and I want the best for you, I'm giving you this secret. What was this big secret that comes in 2? That not even the sages, not even the rishis, not even the wise men, none of them know about my birth. So that is what I'm trying to tell you, the origin of everything. Then what will be the benefit of this big secret that Bhagwan is going to tell? What does he say? You will be purged of all sins. Then comes 4 and 5. In 4 and 5, both the shlokas together, we are given 20 vibhutis of Bhagwan, 20 manifestations which are basically our own traits. We did all that together. In the 6th shlok, we had 25 more vibhutis, and all those vibhutis were Sapta Rishis, the 4 Manas Putras of Brahmadev, and the 14 Manus. These particular manifestations have a significance because they were all there in the beginning of the universe. The Manas Putras are always at the beginning of the after Pralay. Sapta Rishis were ancient. So from ancient time, I have been manifesting myself in all these different people. And then the 7th Adhyay gives us one guarantee. What is that guarantee? That the one who knows this truth, whatever all these manifestations are basically originating from me itself, when the person knows that in reality, remember that word, tattvataha, then he gets established in me through unfaltering devotion. Of this there is no doubt. So the whole purpose of giving these vibhutis is what? What is the purpose of giving all these vibhutis? Can't hear you.
The source of everything is the same divine.
So what is the point? What is the need to say that?
To increase the faith.
To increase the faith of the bhakt. Okay? When the bhakt knows that, oh wow, all this is Bhagwan only and he is manifested in all these things, then that deepens the faith of the bhakt. So let's start with shlok number 8 and we will read it one more time. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam Buddha Bhava Samanvitaha. I am the source of all creation, and everything in the world moves because of me. Knowing thus, the wise, full of devotion, constantly worship me. Take the meanings. Aham, you know very well, means I. Prabhavo, am the source. I am the source. Sarvasya, of everything, of all. Sarvam, everything. Pravartate, proceeds, functions. The word they use over here is moves. Matta, from me. Matva, knowing. Iti, thus or this. Buddha, the wise. Samanvita, being endowed with, or you can say full of. Bhava, devotion, love, surrenderfulness. Bhajante, worship. Mam, me. So as I said, I want to do 4 shlokas today. And the reason why I have to do all 4 together is because these 4 verses, 8, 9, 10 and 11, are also known as Chatur, Shloki, Gita. That is the importance of these 4 shlokas. And number 8 is the first of those Chatur Shloki. Now, as you know, the Gita is so versatile and so universally applicable that even a beginner will have something to learn from it, an advanced will be able to learn something from it, the bhakt has something to learn from it, the jnani has something to learn from it, the karma yogi has something to learn from it. So these 4 shlokas we will be able to interpret in 2 different ways. What are those 2 different ways? The first is we will interpret it as a relationship between the Bhakt and Bhagwan. And here, the Bhakt will obviously be worshipping Bhagwan as Sagun Brahma. The second interpretation for these very same shlokas, you can interpret it as the path of the jnani, who is worshipping as Nirgun Brahma. So both you can interpret, and that is beautiful because, you know, there are so many commentaries given on the Gita, and each school of thought has given the commentary according to their darshan. So here we will take 2 of them. We will not take all 6. We will take 2 of them. Okay? So first we will see it as the Bhakti Marg, the relationship between Bhakt and Bhagwan, where the Bhakt is worshipping as Sagun Brahma. Sagun Brahma you all understood, no? Brahma with attributes. I will take all 4 verses first in this interpretation. Then at the end I will show the Gyan Marg interpretation. So these words come, Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo, right? Bhagwan says, I am the source of all the manifestations. He's already given 45 manifestations. So he's saying, all those 45 manifestations, I am the source of all of them. And every manifestation that we talked about, they originated from me. and they stay in me, and I am the prime source of that. Now, this could cause some confusion in the mind of one who is studying Vedant or Sanatan Dharma in the beginning. Because we were always been told that creation has been done by who? Brahmadev. Now how Bhagwan Krishna is saying over here that I am the source. So there seems to be some, is Bhagwan Krishna taking over Brahmadev's function? Is he usurping Brahmadev's job description, or what is he doing? So there is absolutely no confusion, and as advanced students of Vedant, you jolly well know, very well know, that Brahmadev or Bhagwan Krishna or Vishnu Bhagwan or Shiv Bhagwan or Ganesha Bhagwan or all Bhagwans are nothing but Ishwar. They are all Ishwar. So here Bhagwan Krishna is talking as Ishwar. I am the source of all creation. Is that clear? So why do you think he is saying that now? Because he is taken the avatar as Bhagwan Krishna. He is here to inspire Arjun to fight the war. He wants Arjun's faith to be established in him, that I am looking after everything. Don't worry, if I am the source of everything, I will also be looking after you. Okay? So when one knows that Ishwar is talking and Ishwar is saying, I have created this everything from myself and my manifestation from me, Arjun's faith and all other people's faith, all the bhakts ka faith also becomes deeper and deeper. Not only Bhagwan says, I am the source of all the manifestations, then he goes on to say, Matta sarvam pravartate. Everything is functioning also because of me. Now functioning, that is Vishnu Bhagwan's job. So here also now the same logic applies, and more understandable over here, because Bhagwan Krishna is nothing more than the avatar of Bhagwan Vishnu. But here also he is not talking as Bhagwan Vishnu, he is still talking as Ishwar. And all these are one and the same. Okay? So Ishwar is the inner controller of the whole world, and this entire part is being talked from the point of view of Ishwar. So that we have to understood, what is this me? Now the word comes Buddha. Buddha meaning the wise people. What does he say? The wise ones know this truth. Which truth? That the every manifestation is coming from Ishwar. It is just a manifestation. Now we have to be very clear about the word manifestation. Manifestation means appearance. Manifestation doesn't mean creation. Creation means some creator was there and something new was created. Whereas manifestation is just an appearance. So this all is an appearance coming from Ishwar itself. So when a person understands that everything is a manifestation of Ishwar only, of divinity only, then don't you think his whole viewpoint of the world will change? So we have, remember we used to talk about self-view, God view and world view. So now this concept of God has changed, that he's manifested this whole world. So the concept of world also has undergone one change. So when we have understood that everything is just a manifestation of Bhagwan only, then what will happen? Bhav samanvitaha, meaning the wise one who understands this, he will be full of devotion. He will be full of devotion, because wherever he is looking, it's a manifestation of Bhagwan. Whoever he is talking to, that person is a manifestation of Bhagwan. Whatever action he is taking, every relationship is becoming one with Bhagwan. So that is why wise. did not use the word bhakta. He used the word buddha, the wise one. The wise one. See what happens, we also know this. Everything is Bhagwan. We know theoretically, we know intellectually. But are we wise? Are we wise? Because we know this, yet we do not interact with everyone as they are Bhagwan. We do not treat everyone as a manifestation of Bhagwan. So, this is something we have to introspect. Though I know this for the last 20 years, that Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma, we're not even talking about manifestation of Ishwar. We're talking about Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma, yet when we are interacting with others or in any situation, that knowledge seems to run away. So these wise people are the ones where the knowledge is not going away when they are interacting with sansar. Okay? So when you'll see everything as a manifestation of the divine, what will happen? Your acharan will, if you are wise, acharan will become pure. Yes or no? Your interaction will become pure. And if interaction becomes pure, you will not be incurring any, at least you will not be incurring any pap karma. You may incur punya, but definitely you will not incur pap. So, what is this bhav samanvita? What is this bhav with which this wise bhakt, I'll call him wise bhakt, is interacting with the universe, okay, with the people? His every action is a worship, right? And this action as a worship is not with any ulterior motive. It is not that let me act nicely with him because he is a manifestation of God and then my desires will get fulfilled. No, it is out of pure devotion, out of pure love, okay? So now we have to understand this word bhav. Bhav is a very difficult word to translate into English. So you can say mental makeup, you can say attitude, you can say mood, feeling. Really, it is what, it is the motive kind of, it's the, I don't even know how to explain it, bhav. The background which colors your action, you can say. Every success of any sadhana depends on the bhav with which it is done. So you can do puja also, but if there is no bhav of bhakti in that puja, then the puja is a mechanical ritual which you have done. If you do any action, but there is no karta bhav, if there is no bhokta bhav, then that action will incur karma. So in karma yoga, you need that, karta bhav. You need that bhokta bhav. In bhakti, you need bhakti bhav. In bhakti bhav, there are many bhavs that you can have. And we had done this satsang long ago of Navda Bhakti. You remember? In fact, we did it also on one of our yatras also. I had taken that as a topic. There are 9 different bhavs with which you can worship Bhagwan. I'll not go to all 9, but I'll take 4 or 5 of them. For example, there is Dasya Bhav. Dasya Bhav means when you are worshipping Bhagwan, you will take the attitude of a sevak. You are Bhagwan's sevak. And Bhagwan is your Lord and Master. So here the bhav is of samarpit bhav, humility, reverence, right? Can you think of someone from our Shastras only who worshipped with Dasya bhav? Hanumanji. Classic example of Dasya bhav. So that is one way. Now we are talking about God view. How you are seeing the God. We talked about world view, now God view. You see God as your Lord and Master and you are here to do seva. Then there is Sakhya Bhav. God is your friend, your close friend. And you can joke with that God, you can talk with that God, you play with that God, and you see God as your peer, as your equal, as your close friend. Anyone comes to mind? Arjun. Arjun and Bhagwan Krishna have this Sakhya Bhav. Then there is something also called Vatsalya Bhav. Vatsalya Bhav means when you'll pray to Bhagwan, when you'll worship Bhagwan, he is your baby, he is your child, you are the mother. Vatsalya Bhav, where you'll take care of the Bhagwan, you'll nurture the Bhagwan, you'll dress the Bhagwan, you'll feed the Bhagwan, you have the motherly instinct towards Bhagwan. Who would that be? Yashoda, exactly, Yashoda Maya. Then another bhav you can, just saying these bhavs because maybe somewhere it might click with you and you might be able to put that bhav into your puja. Madhurya bhav. Madhurya bhav, beautiful, most intimate, where Bhagwan is your spouse or Bhagwan is your beloved, and you have the most intimate, surrenderful merging with the Bhagwan. Who would that be? Radha. Radha. So here all these different bhavs are there, and there's also one Shanta bhav. Shanta bhav. That's also beautiful, where in the presence of Bhagwan you are just at peace. You are feeling calmness. You are connecting in contemplation. There is no high emotion. You are just feeling peaceful with Bhagwan. There is no emotional outburst like as a mother or as a spouse or as a friend or as a anything. Bhishma and Vidur would worship as Shanta Bhav. So whichever bhav you take, there is always going to be some samarpan in that. So it says samarpan bhav, which is common in all these different bhavs. So knowing, and when will this samarpan bhav come? When you have recognized, so this point, first point is recognizing that Ishwar is the prime source of all manifestations. That is the purpose of this shloka. So these are Chatur Shloki Gita. Ishwar is the source, Ishwar is the origin of this entire universe. And when the Bhakt knows this, recognizes this, and expresses it in his vyavahar, in his dealings with the world, we call him Buddha. We call him the wise Bhakt. And the bhav, whatever that bhav is, there are so many more bhavs also. I have not done all of them, but you can revise the notes which we have done earlier. Now, how will this Bhakt live? What will be his interaction with the world? Because he is seeing Bhagwan in everything. So the next shlok tells us exactly how this wise Bhakt is going to be living. From this one shlok, you have to take home something also. What will you take home from this? How is your acharan with the world? How is your acharan? You jolly well know that everything is Brahma, that everyone is a manifestation of the divine. So have you applied this knowledge, or it is just a bookish knowledge for you? So somewhere there needs to be some manan on this, and then after the manan, some application of this. Right or wrong? Do you think it's worth doing that? Now when you'll see, as we will go to the other 4 shlokas, other 3 shlokas, the importance of putting this into practice. Okay? Chalo, let's go to number 9. Very interesting as it goes on. Ready to chant? Machchita madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. With their minds fixed on me and their lives surrendered to me, conversing and enlightening one another about my glories, my devotees ever remain contented and take delight in me. Meanings. Machchitta, with their minds fixed on me. Madgata prana, lives surrendered to me. Bodhayanta, enlightening. Parasparam, one another. Cha, and. Kathayanta, conversing. Mam, about me, about my glories. Nityam, always. Tushyanti, remaining content. And cha, ramanti, taking delight in me. So the first shloka of the Chatur Shloki Gita emphasizes the recognition of Ishwar as the source of the entire universe, and the wise ones who know this properly are using it in their vyavahar, and they are full of devotion, bhav sambandita. Now, if you are full of devotion, then how will you interact with the other people is what this second shloka is telling us. 3 points are given over here. What are those 3 points? Machchitta, madgat prana, and bodhayanta parasparam kathayantascha mam, goes all together. Minds are fixed on the divine, lives are surrendered to Bhagwan, and they love to talk and exchange stories or glories or stories of Bhagwan with each other. Let's take all 3 one by one. Machchitta. Matta means mind, and chitta is mind. So their mind is mine. Their mind is mine. Their mind is fixed in me. Their mind is established in me. And not just mind, hearts and mind. It's not enough for mind. The bhakt functions through the heart. So the mind and the heart are absorbed in Bhagwan. Here again, something for us to take home. Where is our mind fixed? Where is our mind going? What are we gravitating to? See, whenever you are free, where does your mind go? Business, family, financial commitments, social engagements, friends, whatever, past memories, future worries. It flits from place to place. But the wise bhakt, his mind is fixed in one place, and that one place is Bhagwan. He has no other agenda. He has decided, I have no other agenda in life. This is where I find my maximum joy. And so, he's wise, right? He's wise. So where he finds his joy, he keeps his mind and heart. then only you're wise, no? If you know this is where I find my joy, but I'm putting my mind somewhere else, then you're not wise. That's why Bhagwan calls them Buddha, wise. So he can sit. Somewhere we read this line, if some of you may remember. He can sit in a corner and contemplate on the divine without any distraction from life. We read this somewhere, right? So, no distraction is not just for the jnani. Even in the bhakti marg, you cannot have distraction. Bhagwan means, this is where I want to go. So, don't take bhakti marg lightly. Bhakti marg also has a deep path through which you can reach your highest goal. So first point is, mind is fixed, no other agenda. Second, madgat prana. Prana, life. Life means what? Everything you do, your actions, everything, okay? Gata, absorbed. Mat, in me. Your entire life, your entire actions, everything is absorbed in me. Not just the mind, but everything else also. So what does it mean to surrender one's life to Bhagwan? Generally our life is divided into compartments. Sometimes, like when we did those management programs and we have these books where we write our goals. We have personal goal and we have professional goal and family goal. So our life is compartmentalized like that. So we have a social life, we have a family life, we have a professional life, we have a leisure life also, and somewhere hopefully there's also one spiritual life. When we are free from all other lives, then the spiritual life, somewhere we manage to fit in to our busy schedule. Now to deal with all these different lives, it's stressful. First and foremost, you'll agree with me, because sometimes there is a pull between the two. Should I be in my professional life, or should I be in my family life, or should I be in my spiritual life, or should I look at my social life? So there are always all these different tensions, stresses. And to navigate all these different compartments of our life, we have certain faculties. So what are the faculties we use? Organs of perception, organs of action, our 5 pranas, all these, our mind, our intellect, these are our tools with which we navigate all these different compartments of our life. Will you agree with me? But the wise bhakt does not allow his senses and his mind and his faculties to rush like iron filings rush towards the magnet. What does he do? He uses all his faculties to worship Bhagwan. We use our senses to navigate the world, find this out, new restaurant kaun sa hai, and this shop and that mall and this thing and that thing, through our senses. But no, the wise bhakt, he will use his eyes for darshan of Bhagwan. He will use his ears for what? To hear his glories, for the kathas, for the kirtans, for the bhakti. His nose, sense of smell, for the dhoop, for the ittar, all the puja. See, puja ka mahatva is only that all your senses are engrossed and absorbed in the puja of Bhagwan. We have talked of this long ago. Legs, going to the mandir, coming to the Siva center, not going to mall, not going here, not going there. Hands, do seva. something. Everything is used, all the faculties are used in the worship of Bhagwan. And let's take it one step further also. Not just when you are doing puja, not just when you are doing japa, not just when you are doing some thing in the temple, but when you are interacting with everyone, because everyone is a manifestation of Ishwar. So when you are doing every action, you are doing it with that bhava samanvita. With that bhava, I am worshipping the Bhagwan in the person. Alright, so all their faculties are surrendered in the seva of Bhagwan. Mad, Gat, Prana. Because pranas are helping the organs of action. With the prana only organs of perception are working. With the prana only the mind is working. So all the entire physiological function of the body powered by prana is in the service of Bhagwan. So Machchitta, Madgat, Prana. And then Bodhayanta Parasparam, enlightening one another, Kathayanscha Ma. They converse. Now what happens? Bodhan means awakening. Bodhan. Bodhayanta is written. So Bodhan means awakening. And they are busy enlightening one another. We also are very busy enlightening one another, no? Every day some meme comes, some forward comes. Be enlightened, know this truth, know this, do that, do this. We also busy enlightening one another. But not just about Bhagwan. We are enlightening one another about what? War, corruption, then what? Political state, this one, that one. Then we enlighten one another about our neighbors also. We are enlightened about social evils also. This is general enlightening, but not the wise Bhakt. What does the wise Bhakt do? He talks about the glories of Bhagwan. He goes to the kathas and he hears it, and when he gets so much in awe that he will tell the katha to his children, he will tell his katha to his family members. You remember that bhajan we sing, You Are Amazing God? That is exactly that. You are amazing God. You hear all these things and then you can't contain it. You want to share that amazement with everyone. So that's what it says. Then if they have got some insight, they want to share it. So we do that also. We have a Manan group. So every time some insight, you feel like sharing it to others. Then you yearn to get the darshan of Bhagwan. So you are always in that environment, where will I get the darshan? You don't want to, so you cannot get darshan of Bhagwan anywhere and everywhere. So you will want to go to the places where darshan of Bhagwan is available. So they would rather come to satsang. They would rather be in the company of satsangis rather than being with people who have no interest in what they are devoting their life to. So this company of satsangis awakens their bhakti bhav more and more. It's like one bhakt is fanning the bhakti bhav of the other bhakt, and then it's reciprocal fanning of bhakti bhav. So this is how the wise bhakt interacts with the world. Even in Srimad Bhagavad, I have one very nice quote. I'll read the English, of course. By sadhana bhakti, by recollecting and making others recollect the Lord, para bhakti arises. Para bhakti arises. You also remember and you make others also remember. And their whole body is in a constant inundation of divine love. Inundation, flooding. So by talking about bhakti and exchanging your devotion, you feel drenched in devotion. So it's a beautiful kind of a feeling. They don't do this for getting punya. They don't do this for getting their desires fulfilled. They just do it because that's what they love to do. They love to do this. They are not praying to God out of fear. They are not praying to God out of insecurity or worries for the future or to change their prarabdha. They are just tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Beautiful. They are ever content and take delight in being in bhakti bhav. That's all. See, the joy that they feel when they are in that bhakti bhav is so complete. That happiness is so complete that they don't need to go and look for happiness anywhere else. That is the meaning of content. This much is enough. They're already full. Tushyanti, totally content. And they also know that whatever joy they may get from your chocolate cakes and your gulab jamuns and your Lamborghinis and your whatever of the world, that joy is phika, pale, insipid compared to the joy they feel in the presence of the divine. So therefore they don't need that ramanti. They are delighting in the basking in the glory of Bhagwan. And I think those who can experience that are so terribly blessed, because this itself is a vibhuti. This itself is a kripa. And those who do not yet feel that ramanti, that delight in Bhagwan, they still need to open their heart a little bit more and allow that knowledge to go from the head towards the heart. All right. So now Bhagwan says these are the three lakshans, or these are the three ways the wise bhakt is going to deal with the world. And what we will take from this? What we will take from this second shloka? What delights you? What makes you feel, or do you even feel content, or you always feel that there is something more you need to get to feel content? Or you can also say, how dependent are we on the vishayas of the world to feel content, to feel happy? Till you feel a lack, you will always be lacking. You understand that? When you have a thought in my mind, there is a lack, you will always remain in lack. It's just a way of changing your perception of what is contentment, what is enough. Let me tell you, from the world, it will never ever be enough. Never ever. Whatever you will get from the world will never ever give you the feeling of enough. The world cannot make you content. The world cannot make you delighted. Why? It doesn't exist in the world. You are looking for the needle in the wrong haystack. So, second shloka of Chatur Shloki Gita tells how the wise bhakt will live, how he will be totally content, how he will be totally delighted in his ananya bhakti. Ananya bhakti, just totally happy. Now what will be the result of such a bhakti? Next shlok. Let's read number 10. Tesham satatayuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhiyogam tam yena mamupayanti te. On those ever united through meditation with me and worshipping me with love, I confer that yoga of wisdom by which they come to me. Wow! The phal of this devotion has great value, but let us see the meanings first. Tesham, on those, satat, ever, yukta, united. Now all these words you all know, right? Bhajatam, worship, on those ever united, means with me. Bhajatam, worship. Important, Preeti Purvakam, with love. Worship with love. Dadami, I confer, I grant. Buddhi Yogam, yoga of wisdom. I grant that yoga of wisdom. Tam is there, tam, that yoga of wisdom. Which yoga of wisdom? That yoga of wisdom. Yen, by which they, upayanti, come, reach, mam, to me. It's a big phal. It's a big result. Let's go. First shlok, first of the Chatur Shloki, recognition, and because of the recognition, attraction towards Bhagwan. Second, they express that through their behavior. Acharan is bhav samanvita. And now the third shlok, the outcome or the phal of this single pointed devotion. What is Bhagwan going to give them? What is he going to give them? Say? Guarantee of what? Buddhi Yogam. He is going to give them Buddhi Yogam, knowing that they will be able to come to Bhagwan. Big guarantee. Tesham satata yuktanam. We already talked about the 3 points which make those bhakts wise. They are ever united, not from time to time, not when they are in the mood, not when they are on leave, not when they are on vacation. Satata, continuously. And how are they managing to do that? And how can we manage to do that? What have they done? All their sense organs for us, which takes us into the world, they have put it into the use of Bhagwan. All the organs of action which take us into the world, they have taken it to the use of Bhagwan. Their mind which goes from here to there, fixed in Bhagwan. So everything, all their faculties are connected to Bhagwan. And whatever attachment they may have had with the Vishayas of Sansar, now their attachment to Bhagwan is greater than their attachment to the Vishayas. Only then is this possible. So our attachment, if it is greater to the Vishayas of Sansar, we will never be able to attach to Bhagwan. So that detachment is required from Sansar and attachment to Bhagwan. Bhajatam Preeti Purvakam. They worship Bhagwan with love, with devotion, in whichever bhav, whether it is Vatsalya bhav, or whether it is Dasya bhav, or Sakhya bhav, or Madhurya bhav. They worship, they revere, they love. And this is not a chore for them. This is not one of the things they have to do every day because it is prescribed. There is no kantala in that. It is not a taking up of their time. They want to do it. They are ramanti in that. They are enjoying it. There is love in their heart when they are in the presence of Bhagwan. You remember in Prahlad, we have talked about Prahlad. So in Vishnu Puran, Prahlad says this line, when I meditate on you, Bhagwan, Vishnu Bhagwan, when I meditate on you, let me have the same intensity of passion which the ignorant and the worldly have towards worldly objects. And let me wish you all, today is Narasimha Jayanti also. So Prahlad's quote here is quite apt for today. Many of you have asked me, what should we pray for? How should we pray? What should we pray for? Don't you think this is something worth praying for? Let my attachment to Bhagwan be greater than my attachment to Sansar. This is one of the things you can be praying for. And when the Bhakt has his mind fixed on Bhagwan, has his entire life devoted to Bhagwan, he is delighted in talking about Bhagwan, he is delighted in sharing his views about Bhagwan, he is delighted when somebody fans his bhakti bhav and he fans somebody else's bhakti bhav. Now, what is the outcome? Bhagwan says, when I meet such a bhakt, dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. I grant, dadami, I give, I confer buddhi yogam, that yoga of wisdom, yena mamu payanti te, by which they come to me. This is nothing short of Bhagwan's kripa. This is the kripa of Bhagwan. You do your purusharth, Bhagwan is waiting. He's waiting for a Mirabai. He's waiting for a Radha. He's waiting for a Prahlad. He's waiting to shower his blessings. He's waiting to give you buddhi yogam. And the bhakt is not asking for it. He is simply doing what he loves to do, which is possible because of maybe previous sanskars or some great blessings. What does it mean I confer buddhi yogam? He infuses the mind of the bhakt with the wisdom of bhakti. What does that mean? It means that whatever is required for the bhakt to ensure that he continues on this path, stays in this bhav, so that, remember, prayana kale, at the time of death, he is ensured and assured and guaranteed to attain Brahma, to attain Bhagwan. Now this is Bhagwan's kripa. But everyone will not get this kripa, because you can understand the level of bhakti. It is not something that we can develop in 10 minutes of some sadhana that we do every day. Your entire life is devoted towards Bhagwan. Yes? So you tell me, what was the first of the 4 shlokas devoted to? Recognition and attraction towards Bhagwan. Knowing that Bhagwan is the source of everything. Then in the second shlok, what did we have? Expression. How do they share their joy? How do they share their attraction? They create a spiritual environment. And that is exactly what satsang is. That is what satsang is. Creating that environment in which you feel the connection. You don't get that on Zoom. You get that by being in the presence, in that milieu, in that environment where bhakts are fanning each other's bhakti bhav. That is the importance of presence. And then the third, the phal of this beautiful single pointed direction, devotion, guarantee of attaining Bhagwan. Now what more can come from this? What more can there be? Bhagwan's kripa already given to you. But before that, some points for you to take home. What will this third shloka? Because if out of how many shlokas in Gita? 700. 4 are being given as Chatur Shloki Gita. You can imagine in 4 shlokas what the entire essence of the Gita is here for us. It's like one treasure being given to us today. So from this third one, what treasure are you going to take? Introspection. What will you introspect? How deep is your bhakti? How deep is your love for Bhagwan? Or is there even any love for Bhagwan? How clear is your understanding? Do you have a goal that you want to attain Bhagwan first and foremost? What is your nishtha in that goal? What is the value you are giving to that goal? Everyone wants kripa. Kripa de do. They will go to gurus and they say, "Aapki kripa mile to ye kaam ho jayega." Why? Why kripa? Where is your purusharth? So if you want kripa, purusharth is required. Alright, so kripa already given. Bhagwan says, I'm giving you my guarantee, you'll come to me. Then what else is there? There must be something else because 4th shloka is left. Let's read number 11. Teshamevanukampartham aham jnanajam tamaha नाशयाम यात्म भावस्थो ज्ञानदीपेन भास्वता. In order to bestow my compassion on them, I, dwelling in their hearts, dispel their darkness, born of ignorance, by the illuminating lamp of knowledge. If you thought the earlier shlok had a great phal, then this is great phal raised to n. Take the meanings. Anukampartham, in order to bestow my compassion. Teshameva, on them, enough of that, Teshame eva, on them itself. Aham, I. Atma bhavastha, important word, dwelling in their hearts. Nashayami, dispel, destroy. Tama, tamas, darkness. Agyanajam, born of ignorance. Jnanadipena, by the lamp of knowledge. Bhasvata, which is luminous, which is illuminating. So the 4th shloka is the climax of the Chatur Shloki Gita. Already has given one guarantee that you will attain me. But here one more guarantee. What is that guarantee? He will personally remove all obstacles in your path. He will personally remove all your ignorance. through His compassion, because He loves you. His love for you and your love for Him are one and the same, equal. And when that happens, you will be fully immersed in Bhagwan. So Bhagwan is moved by the depth of the bhakt's devotion. Now we know that every action has a result. Some actions will have pap as a result, karma. Some will have punya. Now the result of the bhakt's devotion, because that is his action, what is going to be the result of that? Guarantee of attaining Bhagwan. That is the result. And all actions ka results are pre-decided. It is not arbitrary. Bhagwan does not arbitrarily decide the results or karmas of any action. So in the Vedas itself, from that authority, we know that if you are such a bhakt, then you have a guarantee of attaining Bhagwan. And secondly, all your obstacles in the way, which is basically all your ignorance, is going to be removed from the bhakt's head as well as heart. Now here also we have the word aham. Up till now this word aham, when Bhagwan Krishna was saying it, he was saying it as what? Ishwar. But in this shlok, I feel Bhagwan is talking not as Krishna, not as Vishnu Bhagwan, not as Ishwar also. He's talking as Atma itself. Because dwelling in your heart, it is not just in my heart because I love Bhagwan, it is who I am. And that word, important word, which tells us this is Atma talking, is because it says Atma Bhavastha. Atma also means self. So I am living as the self within you. I am the self within you. And that is why he can say, Nashayami tama agyanajam. I will destroy your ignorance. Why? That is why. Why did I say that? Because only Atma can do this job. Only Atma can reveal itself. Nobody else can, or no other agency can remove that ignorance. Only the Atma reveals its own self. This is the Vibhuti. This is the Kripa. So exciting. It's like magic. And he's going to remove the ignorance which is born out of Tama. So what is this ignorance that we have to remove? That also we should know. Because do you see how we are going slowly from bhakti into Gyan? Isn't that beautiful? So what is this ignorance which we need to remove? One, because our faculties are limited, we are not able to perceive the reality of ourselves as well as of the world. Yes or no? Because of this ignorance, we are only seeing Naam and Roop. And our ignorance is saying this Naam and Roop only is reality. That is ignorance. Our ignorance is making us unable to understand that this Naam and Roop are dependent realities, mithya. Our ignorance is not allowing us to understand that we can see this Nam and Roop only because of the substratum that supports the Nam and Roop. And this substratum is the only reality. This ignorance is what Bhagavan says, dwelling in your hearts, I will remove. The obstacle is only ignorance. And how is he going to remove this obstacle, this ignorance? Jnana deepena bhasvata, by the illuminating light of knowledge. Now, if a room is plunged in darkness, you do jhadu of it, darkness will not go. You do any action, darkness will not go. If you pray, darkness go away, it will not go. Then only a light can remove that darkness from a room. Right or wrong? One light is enough to remove the whole room ka darkness. You do not have to put lights again and again. Just light it once and the ignorance or the darkness has gone off a room. Yes or no?
Yes.
In the same way, the darkness of ignorance, no action will remove it. No yagna, no puja, no part, no praying, no bhakti bhav will not remove that ignorance. It will purify you. It will purify you in such a way that the light of knowledge enters you. It is these actions and bhakti are our purifying agents. They are not going to create the light. They are only removing the obstacles in the way of that knowledge entering your mind. Only knowledge can remove ignorance because only knowledge is directly opposed to ignorance. If I'm hungry, I want to remove hunger, I cannot remove it in any other way except by something which is directly opposed to hunger, which is eating. If I do exercise or if I do some studies or if I do bhakti or I do japa, hunger will not go. I may get distracted, but hunger will not go. So to remove anything, you have to use something that is directly opposed to that thing. And knowledge is directly opposed to ignorance. One lamp enough to remove the darkness of the room. One direct experience enough to remove the darkness of ignorance. Once you know, you know. You don't have to know again and again. You know your name. Don't have to go on learning. I'm Mayur, I'm Mayur, I'm Mayur. You know. Once you know, Aham Brahmasmi, you know. Again and again you don't need that. And one more interesting thing. This light of knowledge is not creating anything new in you. The fact that you are Brahma is already there, right? It is just revealing what is already present in you. Nothing new is getting created. So what will be revealed? What will be revealed? I am Brahma. That will be revealed. You are eternal. Or let's say, I am eternal. I am not that changing temporary thing. I am not this body which keeps changing. I am not the mind which keeps changing. I am not the intellect. Everything made of matter changes. Everything made of matter is temporary. Everything made of matter is transient. But who I am is that substratum, that reality which never ever changes, whether it is by age or space or time or anything. Okay? And that is the only reality. It is not one of the realities. It is the only reality, and nothing actually exists except that. Everything else is an appearance dependent reality. It is an appearance, but it is not Sat. Why it is not Sat? Because of the definition of Sat. That which always existed, exists now, and will always exist in the future. Alright? This knowledge though you already know. It's available in books. It's available in videos. It's available in pravachans. It's available everywhere. But this will not liberate you, because it is paroksh knowledge. It is given to you by some outsider. This knowledge has to arise within you, has to be your own experience. That is why we call it a paroksh anubhuti. And that's the guarantee Bhagavan is giving. He says, what does he say? Aham Atma Bhavastha, living in you, I who is living in you, Nashayami, I will dispel that tama, that darkness, agyanajam, which is born of your ignorance. I will destroy it by giving you that light of knowledge. Worth it or not? What do you say? Worth it or not? Something you should work towards, or maybe, I don't know. Does this goal have a value for you? Does this goal feel that it's worth giving up all this temporary sukh just for that? Because to reach that stage, as a bhakt also, it is called para bhakti. It will transcend you. It will take you beyond the borders and limits of sansar. Para bhakti. The self reveals itself. This is up to bhakt only we are talking. This entire 4 shlokas, I gave you the journey of the bhakt. Yes or no? And even the bhakt is reaching para bhakti. He is being guaranteed by Bhagwan, you will come to me. You will not need to come back to earth. That was the first interpretation. This is the first interpretation of these Chatur Shloki. Bhakti Marg. So what about the Jnani? How can we interpret these 4 shlokas from the point of view of the Jnani? Let's go shlok by shlok. And we will compare the two, because by comparing the two, you will get the difference. Okay? The first, shlok number 8, was about recognition and attraction. Remember? So the bhakt is recognizing Bhagwan Krishna, or you can say Ishwar, as the source of everything. That is bhakti. But the Jnani, what is he recognizing? He is seeing Brahma in everything. There's a little difference. Yes or no? Getting it? Okay. The Bhakt is getting attracted towards Krishna, Bhagwan, getting attracted towards Ishwar. But the Jnani, with this knowledge, everything is Brahma, he is realizing. What is he realizing? Everything is an appearance. Everything is just a dependent reality. Everything is just a manifestation of that Supreme. Understanding this is called Vivartavad. Vivartavad. That school of thought which says everything is just an appearance on the substratum. Then there was one Buddha, one wise one, the wise Bhakt. In Shlok 8, the wise one sees Bhagwan as the source of everything, and then he worships everything with that Bhava Samanvita, with all different kinds of bhavs, emotions. Whereas the wise one, as the Jnani, he is no longer deluded. His delusion has gone. So now he is no longer having that misapprehension and non-apprehension. That understanding has come that these are all appearances only. The Bhakt worships with bhav, emotion. The wise, how will he worship? He worships with calm understanding. Calm understanding. And there are two words in this shloka, aham and sarvasya. Yes? He says, I am the from me, aham, everything has manifested. So in Bhakti Bhav, that is the understanding. Whereas here, the whole journey is to understand who is this aham and what is this sarvasya. The Bhakt has bhav, whereas the Jnani contemplates. Bhakt worships with bhav, the Jnani contemplates. And you'll remember this from the earlier shlokas. Avikampena yoga. What does he contemplate with? Devotion is there only. Unflinching, unfaltering devotion. But along with that, there's a plus, steadiness of knowledge. So, Bhakt is just devotion. Whereas the Jnani has devotion also, but knowledge has to be there with it. Steadiness of knowledge. So you can see two ways you can interpret. Now, the one who is attracted to Bhakti Marg will follow this. The one who wants to go towards Adhyay can identify with the other. Let's go to Shlok number 9 and see the differences. According to the Bhakt, he is continuously thinking of Bhagwan. And he is thinking of Bhagwan with bhav, with emotion. Whereas the Jnani, once he has realized this, what he does? Manan. See the difference? So the Bhakt likes to go and teach and talk about this and talk about the glories and the kathas and the leelas and everything, and fanning each other's bhakti bhav, as we said. Whereas the Jnani, he will go to Swadhyay, he will study, he will discuss, he will try to deepen his knowledge, and he will try to convert information into practice. He will try to make his understanding more firm with nishtha. The Bhakt is full of bhav, intoxicated almost with emotions and spiritual emotions, of course, and he's delighting and he's satisfied and he's jumoing and he's dancing and he's singing. Whereas the seeker on the Gyan Marg, he doesn't have all these emotions. His high or his thing is when he can master one sense, when he can master his sense organs. For him, that is important. Can I restrain my shama, my dhamma, my titiksha? This is what delights him, that this newfound freedom from all the slavery of his vasanas and his sanskars and his habits and his avguns. This is what he is engrossed in. The mastery of his mind, the mastery of his senses, the mastery of his intellect. The bhakt is on an emotional high, but the jnani is on a stable peace. Stable peace. And a sense of freedom, step by step, baby step by baby step. Every time he gets one freedom from one habit, one freedom from one vasana, one freedom, one insight into his own behavior from one avgun, next freedom, and he delights in that freedom. But the delight is not an emotional high, it's a stable, deeper and deeper going into himself. Going into himself, meaning feeling that there is something within me where I need to go, where I need to reach. I don't need to reach Bhagwan there, I need to reach inside me where I know who I am. He wants to know who he is. He is able to experience small victories of not being the body. Small victories of not being BMI, body, mind, intellect. Small victories of being the witness of the body, witness of the mind, witness of his emotions, witness of his anger or witness he can be. So this is his victory. That is all shlok number 9 ka difference. Shlok number 10, the gift of understanding, Bhagwan's kripa. So this bhakt, the wise one, who has surrendered to Bhagwan, who has love, unconditional love for Bhagwan, Bhagwan is going to gift him something, buddhi yogam. That is an understanding which increases his faith. Bhagwan will give him an understanding, his faith will become stronger. And with that faith, he will continue being in bhakti bhav, so that at the end of his life, he will attain Bhagwan. That is the gift for the bhakt. But for the sadhak, now this is becomes sadhak because he is doing shravan, he is doing manan, he is doing nididhyasan. This buddhi yogam that the jnani experiences is his intellect becomes purer and purer. Rajas, tamma, I will dispel tamma, he says. So he dispels, he destroys the tamas in the sadhak. He reduces the rajas in the sadhak. His mind becomes more and more pure. This is the kripa. More and more purified, more and more clarified. Understanding becomes deeper, so doubts become less. Confusions become less. Nishtha becomes strong. This is the buddhi yogam, kripa to the jnani, to the sadhak. And now there is no sanshay left. Brahma, Satya, Jagat, Mithya, he knows it. Jivo Brahmeva na para, that also the nishtha is there. And when this nishtha becomes firm and intellect becomes so purified and there are no doubts left, and this bhakt come jnani is sitting in deep contemplation. That kripa creates the akhand akar vritti in the jnani. The akhand akar vritti in the jnani gets created, and this is a direct phal, the direct result of his purusharth. This is the gift of Bhagwan, of Atma to the Jnani. Buddhi Yogam. His Buddhi Yogam has joined with Atma. Buddhi Yogam. Buddhi has Yog united in his Atma. And then the final climax is number 11. I can only call it liberation. Bhagwan, through his compassion, removes the obstacles for the bhakt. And here, the Chitta Shuddhikaran becomes complete. Akhand Akar Vritti rises, ego dissolves. Ego goes and rests in the Atma. And when that happens, Maya is pierced, destroyed. Light of knowledge destroys illusion, destroys Maya, and the self reveals itself. And that is Jivan Mukti. Atma Bhavastha, that which dwells in your Atma, that who you are, that you will know. Aham Brahmasmi. Right? Purpose of life is met, finished. In 4 shlokas. So as a bhakt, you will see the aham as Krishna, you will see the aham as Ishwar, but as a jnani, you will see aham as Atma. The bhakt will bhajante, one word is there, bhajante. It will devotional service, puja, part, chanting, etc., rituals. Here, jnani, Shravan, Manan, Nididhyasan. That is his bhajante. Shravan, Manan, Nididhyasan. Self-inquiry. Who am I? In the bhakt, he has forgotten. The ignorance is what? He has forgotten his relationship with God. He has forgotten. He's got so many other relationships that the relationship with God has gone, just like our Wi-Fi goes away when you go in the lift. But for the jnani, his ignorance is false identification with the body and the mind, what we call adhyas. That is the ignorance, false identification with the body. And Bhagwan's grace, Anukampartham, he says, to the bhakt, he's a loving God. He says, I'll give you faith, strengthen your faith, and you'll come to me. As well, and the grace of Bhagwan for the jnani is, Bhagwan, the Atma, who he is, reveals itself. Story over. And they lived happily ever after. Good. Now you know what all you have to do. Everything is clear. Or not. You want to go bhakti marg, go bhakti marg. You want to go gyan marg, go gyan marg. Both ways you will reach God in some way or the other. Okay? You know yourself. Know yourself who you are. Are you a bhakt? Are you Atma? What are you? Are you what do you want to be? And make your goal, have nishtha in that goal, empty your mind, remove your impurities, remove the obstacles, Rest your ego. Find yourself. Finished. Don't wait. Do it now. Don't wait for retirement. Don't wait till the bank balance has enough zeros. Don't wait till your children graduate, because then they will have to get married and then they will have to have children of their own and then you'll have to babysit them. The jobs keep increasing. They never ever end. What you want to do, know it and just do it. Just do it. That's all. And I'm not telling you what to do. You want to make your goal so many crores, by all means go ahead. Finally, you'll end up with a lot of zeros, that's for sure. You're just adding zeros to your life. Okay? Chalo. Enough? Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityurma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Jai Gurudev.